Live 97.5.
It's Yours Radio, Live 97.5, everything urban. Breakfast Club in the morning. Ryan Banks tonight. donni-oh. DJ Cheese, the Party King. Mr. Devin
Yeah.
Baker.
I'm still here, man.
Hey. Let's parlay into the word in the street. Got a few things out there, but real quick, though, it's funny, man. You was talking about, because I can relate, you was talking about your daughter going to her first dance. I remember Minnie, she's in 7th grade, so last year, first middle school dance. And as former male middle schoolers, we know how boys can be.
Of course, because I was one of them dudes.
That's what I'm talking
I was
about.
one of them guys.
We already know. So now we're on the other side.
Man, look, so I told her I was gonna be her chauffeur, right? But it was a method to the madness.
For sure.
So I'm walking to the door, I'm eyeballing all the little boys walking in,
No
you know
doubt,
what I mean?
no doubt.
Like, yo, make sure you get yourself together. Make sure you get yourself together. And I told her I'd be back at 7:45.
The joint is over at 8, right?
Yeah, it was
You
over
at
at 8.
7:45.
15 minutes early.
Pull up early.
Just to make sure, everything is everything. But she had a good time, man. And it's beautiful watching them grow like that, man. I told her she was the most beautiful girl in the dance, you know.
No doubt.
And,
you got to hear from daddy first all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then when she hear that stuff from the other little boys, it ain't nothing.
And I
already know this.
And I already told her, I was like, no matter how cool you think any of these little dudes is, none of them is cooler than your pop.
For sure.
Not one.
Not one. Plant that seed early.
Yeah, man. So
that's dope,
that's always fun.
Yeah. That's dope. And then you taking a little sabbatical from social media.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes it's important to know what's just going on in your world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you block out everything else, you really don't know what's going on with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
All you do is deal with what you got going on. And every once in a while, I just do it just to clear my head, just to just kind of be in Devin's world and take care of family and the holidays. People deal with seasonal depression and stuff like that, and sometimes you just gotta step away from all of that.
Yeah.
But I always feel good and refreshed when I come back. I'm like, yep, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, you didn't. You really didn't. But
I didn't miss anything.
A bunch of drama and knuckleheads and chicks going at each other and those and the woke community and bashing that.
Are we celebrating Christmas this year? You know what I mean? You know how cats be woke. Be like, yo, you know what Christmas is?
It's the devil.
Yeah, come on, man. Just we've been doing it. So just do whatever you do.
Yeah, that's what I haven't. Me personally, I haven't celebrated. It's been 6 years since I've celebrated. I've come into this is how my this is my reality of it, and my kids understand it.
Yeah,
they understand where I'm coming from. My youngest daughter, her mom and I, we were beefing initially. I wasn't beefing; she was.
Yeah.
How you gonna tell her not that? How you gonna tell her Santa is Satan?
Oh man!
All I said was, I don't know how my daughter related to her, but all I said was, Santa, if you take those words and flip them around, it spells Satan, right?
You just messed my whole head up. Hold up, yeah. Wait a minute.
So peep it.
Wow.
So I broke this down to her, and mind you, this all started from a conversation about whether Barney was real or not. So I'm like, well, while we're here, she wanted to know if Barney was real.
Right.
She might have been like 6, at the time, right? And this is when I first stopped celebrating Christmas. Mind you, having a 6-year-old, that's tough.
Yeah.
So I had to ease my way out of it.
Right,
the older kids, they kind of understood it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, how am I gonna do this, 6-year-old? So when she brought up the Barney conversation, that really helped.
That was your leeway, your segue.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I said, well, while we're here, we might as well talk about the fairy godmother and all that tooth fairy and all that. We had to just put it all on and say all that is fake and it's not real.
You on your Charlemagne right now.
Yeah, right.
He was on it last week.
Yeah, I was in it, right? And so, mind you, a 6-year-old. So now they and your daughters are very bright, but they pay attention to stuff, and so we're having this conversation. So she's like, so in other words, parents don't want us to lie, but they constantly lie to us.
Wow. At 6.
Yeah, and I didn't, didn't put it in her head. That's the conclusion she came up with afterwards, you know what I'm saying? So I talked about Santa, and I was like, well, I broke down the words, and You know, I said, if you really think about it, you know, Christmas is supposed to be about Christ, right?
Right.
So I'm like, but they've taken Santa and replaced Christ, almost like a God.
Yeah.
God, like, you know, sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, knows you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. So it's almost like Santa's like God. He sees all, and you got to be good to get your present.
And see, I always looked at it like that. As like, that's your parents.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's your parents. But that's a mean flip.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, you know, Satan always wanted to be God and overtake God, right?
Yo.
So they're using Santa, flip the words around, Satan to do it.
Yo, you just messed my whole head up.
Yeah.
We out here. And he in a red suit.
In a red suit.
Come on, man. Wait a minute.
You peeped the whole
Yo, you made me feel like Martin on Boomerang. You know what Yo, that's crazy though. Yeah, that is wow.
So, you know. So yeah, so then I threw it out there too. So now I don't know how she broke that down to her, telling her mother this.
Nah, she
broke
that joint all the way down.
Yeah, but
Dad said Santa got a hat on because he's trying to hide his horns.
Yeah, right. Dad said we celebrating Satan.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Yeah, so she called me. Ow! She just blasting me out. Yo, hey, you do what you do. In mind, they're Hispanic, so they celebrate Christmas Eve. That's celebrate on the 24th.
Okay.
Midnight. Well, going into midnight, that's when they open their presents or whatever.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So that's their tradition or whatever. So, and then that's when I would go and pick my daughter up around midnight and bring her to my house, and then we celebrate at my house. You know what I'm saying? But being that I wasn't celebrating, I asked her, I said, you can stay there with your all her cousins and everybody's there, and they, having a good time. So I didn't want to take her away from that. So, but her mom assumed that I was just going to not allow her to partake in any of that. I'm like, look, when she's with you, y'all do your celebration, but when she's with me, she's not. Now, mind you, my mom's and them still celebrate. She's kind of weaning away from it because she hears my rhetoric.
So what do you do? What do you do on? So all right, because your moms and them still celebrated. Like, so what do you do on those days?
I still go to the mom's.
You gonna go eat?
And
I know you gonna go eat. That's what I was going to say. Hold on, man. You're not gonna eat. I know you're gonna eat, but you just don't do like the gift exchange.
Right. And there's another thing too. I explained to my daughter. I was like, her Christmas list is always short because she gets everything throughout the year. So it's like, I don't know what I want for Christmas. So like people asking her, and for the first couple of years, like. It's funny. I didn't tell her not to accept gifts for anybody. Right. I said, you still, and one might want to give you a gift, whatever. Right. My aunts, all them, Minnie, what you want for Christmas? Nothing. And then her mom called me. You done brainwashed this girl. Now she don't want no gifts for Christmas. I'm like, nah. I just broke it down to her, and I didn't tell her to go one way or the other. That's but yeah, with me, I'm saying, moms. This was a given. Moms are always socks and underwear.
Oh yeah,
that was a given. And I told Mom, I said, Mom, you don't have to get me that anymore. She's like, oh, I'm gonna get you socks and underwear.
I be trying to get my pops to give me money. He always give me like he gives me like a care package, like deodorant and like stuff that I wouldn't have to go out and buy. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's what I get. My brother Tink, Joey Tink. Yeah, that's what he always gets. Yeah. He goes gets Dove, like some exclusive Dove that I've never seen in the store. He gets some exclusive stuff, different scents, different smells. It'd be a whole, like, I'm like, yo, that lasts me the whole year. Yeah, I asked my dad one time, I said, what you robbed the Avon lady or something? Right, like, how I get all this, Yeah. But, that's what he do. But I'd be like, Pops, I want the bread. I need the bread. Right. Because, I can knock down for bills. Because, my girls, I've been blessed that they don't really ask for. Right. They don't really ask for much because, like, they do get everything they want throughout the year. And I talk to Yolanda about it all the time. I'm like, yo, there's no reason to go broke in Christmas for just stuff. I remember we used to buy toys that they play with for a week, and then they're done with it. Yeah. And so and so now it's got to be like one of them got to get books. You know what I mean? It's always something to learn from. It's always one thing that you really want. You know what I mean? But we don't go crazy. I remember when we was early parent, we was going crazy. Oh yeah, getting everything. And so now, you just kind of taper it down to just a couple of things, man, and just be thankful that everybody's healthy and we're all together. Yeah. My thing too with
Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving was a part of that too.
Yeah.
Just any holiday, Easter, all that. I broke all that down to why Easter is a different date. Like,
that's weird.
Christ didn't die. He died in April one year and in March the next year. Nah. So I broke all that down to her and everything, and just the whole, reason and the history of it or whatever. You make your own, as you get older, you make your own decision. But
Absolutely.
when you want me, we don't, partake in that.
Everything is what is it, Americanized, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Like, you think about it, every season is pushed in your face.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
it's all about money at the end of the day.
It's like as soon as you carve the turkey, the Christmas trees is out. You know what I mean? And they because I had to go to Walmart last night for something. I'm like, yo, you can't even get through the aisles. They got so much stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm looking like, I need a tool belt. I need a tool belt for that,
Yeah.
But it's like they push all this stuff in your face. You know what I mean? They got Blu-ray disc out for $3. You can't put a Blu-ray disc out for $3 and think I ain't gonna go through that bin.
You're gonna cop something.
I'm going through the bin.
Man,
I bought Coming to America the other day.
See,
that's a classic.
Just to have. You don't got to open it up. That's a keepsake right there.
And I've been watching in my sabbatical. I've been watching a lot of martial arts movies, so like the 36 Chambers,
classic joint,
and Fist of Fury, Chinese Connection. Like, I just been watching all them and
on his RZA.
But I'm turning Taylor and Skylar onto it, and I'm telling them, like, sometimes they don't even know what they saying for real. They think it's funny because they not talking with so it's like just and my girls love Martin.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So Ryan, anytime the Martin theme song come on, she's standing up, dancing now.
Right.
Like, so, but Skylar watches Martin every day.
Word. That's dope.
She got a DVD. I'm like, can I have my box set back, please?
I seen that too. I seen the box set they had at Walmart.
Yeah, too. Man, she took my whole box. That's all she watches. And hopefully, if you're listening right now, I hope you feel better. She's sick right now.
Oh, word.
So I hope she's feeling better.
Baby girl feels better.
Yeah, but
shout Ron Do on the check-in. Ron Do, Don J on the check-in. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for checking in. Yeah. So but going back to my daughter real quick, she understood and she knows the deal. And I said, as long as you get good grades in school, you do what you're supposed to do in school, which she does. 4 A's and 2 B's, you get whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want. And and just going back to the whole Christmas deal, she knows the deal. And they had a Christmas program at church today.
Mm-hmm.
And the first lady asked if she could participate. She asked me. And of course, my daughter looked at me like,
what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah. I was like, no, you can because she loves stuff like that. She doesn't mind speaking in front of people and all that, kind of like me like that. And she did a great job. She was one of the narrators. It was 2 narrators. Yeah, and she did that. And so she knows the deal and how I feel about it. But it's funny, like her little brother is 4. And of course, he's still into Santa. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Daddy, should I tell him?" I said, "No. Don't
get him just yet.
Yeah.
You give him a couple more years to breathe." Yeah. But I think the way you explained it is good though, because even though you don't celebrate it, you don't knock somebody else.
Oh, for sure.
And
I celebrated it for 40 plus years.
But that's always the biggest thing with me. It's like when people get an understanding, they figure something out. Give everybody else an opportunity to figure it out. And even the way you just explained it to me, it's like, wow, it wasn't like why are you still celebrating it? Like, don't demean people for still doing it.
Yeah, you gonna turn people off like that.
You just have to, the way you explained it, I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And that's just what anything. That's why the woke people, they kill me with the finger pointing.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I'm a pastor from church. So, and it's crazy too, because these pastors know the real deal. I talk to them. I'm like, because when I was starting to find out different things, I'm like, I know they know. If I know, I know they know. Why are they still celebrating and teaching this stuff? And one pastor was straight up with me. He told me, I'm not gonna say, I never would say his name, but he said, if I would tell them the truth, I wouldn't have a church. Everybody would walk out.
True. Because people don't want the truth.
They don't. So I noticed certain things. I see him, and he's spoon feeding. He was talking about with Jay.
Yeah.
Not everything at one time. I haven't heard him say Christmas.
Right.
Like he would say Advent, the Advent season, know, and he would talk about the birth of Christ, but he would never talk. Obviously, he wouldn't talk about Santa.
Right.
Wouldn't talk about Christmas. And he also talk about, because a lot of people don't know that we're coming up on the 21st, and that's what it really has to do with Christmas. Really is the origin of it is really dealing with the sun, it's dealing with the solar system, the sun, and how obviously as the winter goes on. Well, winter starts the 21st. Okay, right. So from that point, from the 21st on, from 21st of December through June 20th, we gain 1 minute of sunlight each day. Yeah, and then from the summer, with the summer solstice, from June 21st through December 20th, we lose 1 minute of sunlight each day. So the rising of the sun, or the birth of the sun, really the origin of it was the birth of the sun, the physical sun, not the son, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And so that's why it's celebrated in December. And December 21st, they used to celebrate like, oh, we're seeing the sun more and more each day. So people, back in the times of Egypt, they celebrated the sun. They worship the sun. You know what I'm saying? And even with the moon, which is crazy, Easter, just real quick, the Easter started, we wonder why it's on, 1 year it's in April, another year it's in March. Well, that's everything is dealing with the solar system, because that's in accordance with the moon. So in the first, and then this is again after the spring equinox. So spring is March 21st. So the first full moon after the spring equinox, spring begins when the sun passes the northern hemisphere of the equator. Okay. So once it becomes the northern, because we're in the northern part of the hemisphere. So once it crosses that equator onto our side, then that's spring. That's usually right around March 20th, 21st. And the first full moon after the sun crosses the northern hemisphere, that determines when Easter is, whatever Sunday that first full moon is.
That's why the date keeps changing.
That's why the date keeps changing.
I would be like, because I don't go to church on Easter anymore. Like I used to try to,
most people that go to church, they don't know that either. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that's they don't even teach that in church. You know what I mean? Because one thing they in Christianity in particular, they try to separate astrology from the Bible. But astrology is all in the Bible. I don't know. I never understood that either. I have to talk to a pastor, but I never understood why they try to separate the two when you can't. And a lot of times you try to separate science and religion. You can't separate the two,
because there's no way to explain that. Like, you know what I mean? The sun and the moon and all. How you explain that? The solar system?
Right.
That's how you know it's got to be a higher something.
There's something. Exactly.
There's something
right there. Exactly. So again, whether you call it Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, whatever the religion has its man-made traditions all over it. But at the end of the day, if you look at, no matter, we change a whole lot as men and as humans, we have to repave the roads, the houses deteriorate, we got to redecorate, we got to redo, our bodies break down, all of this. But one thing remains constant: that world continues to spin on its axis. It continues to go around. I remember you talking about when your birthday, and I like to explain it that way, but you talked about taking another trip around the sun. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That determines 365 days. That's how long it takes to go around.
Absolutely.
So, but even that in itself, that's life. Life doesn't operate without that sun. It's close enough to warm us up, but not too close to where the burn us up.
Yeah, because if you get too close to it, you just
because the sun is millions of miles away, but yet in the summertime it feels like it's right down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, which is crazy. So but you can't separate the two. You can't separate two, and all that is obviously there's a power that's higher than us.
It's gotta be.
Created that, and it works to perfection.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it doesn't have to. You don't have to remodel the sun or redo this or redo that. It's been that way for millions of years, billions of years. Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to walk on that sun.
No sir.
Not at all.